Hey Aquarius, this is Michael with your general reading for January 2022. I do hope that this video finds you well and in good spirits. I want to wish you all a happy new year and happy birthday to those of you who have a birthday coming up at the end of this month. I do hope that that is very special for you. I have all of my links in the description box down below. I actually worked on horoscopes for 2022 for all 12 signs. You can find those in the blog post down below. It's actually why these readings are coming out a little bit late, plus all the holiday chaos. I definitely was a bit optimistic with my time. I'm just going to be honest. So thank you for your patience and understanding with me. We do also have a sale on my website. All of my services are 15% off, so if you missed the holiday sale, you can still get a reading with me to get a really good sense of what's going to be happening for 2022 for you, or get some healing, get a nice energy boost with some Reiki. All of that is linked down below in my description box. I do want to get to your reading. I do actually have all the cards already on the table here, and it feels like you've actually been really hard at work or really helping other people with the Six of Pentacles, or maybe people have been helping you in some way. There really is this thing with like give and take. It honestly feels like, just looking at these cards, there's like a lot of good karma that is coming your way. And it feels like things are happening really quickly at the start of this month, and that's interesting because we do have Mercury going retrograde in your sign on the 14th, so it's almost like things are going really quickly until they're not, and that kind of makes sense with the spread I have on the table here. We do also have Venus retrograde until the end of this month, until January 29th. Sorry, I feel like I'm already stumbling over my words here. We are in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, after all. But with this Venus retrograde, there's actually a lot of focus on your subconscious this month, and there's a lot of things that could be coming to the surface. And that could actually be why I see this Eight of Wands and Ace of Swords coming out. The Eight of Wands is specifically like what you have been learning about, or what's happening for you as kind of a result of the past coming into the present. This Eight of Wands is messages or potentially travel. I know there's been a lot of travel delays for people or canceled plans, not just with restrictions, but also with, flight cancellations, really just depending on where you are in the world. And it's kind of interesting that that's happening in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. We're already seeing the impact of that. And I think things are really just going to kind of slow down. But you are gaining perspective, you are gaining clarity, and there could be messages, or there could be news or things that comes in that really changes things for the better. I do get kind of like an optimistic sense with all of these cards. We actually have some beautiful cards here for you in the future. The potential challenge for you, though, is the Four of Swords, which is like waiting. And maybe it's like you feel things are changing and then all of a sudden they stop. That's kind of what I was just talking about with the astrology. And I feel like it's really important that you take the time to meditate, that you take time out for yourself. We do have quite a couple, quite a few aspects with Uranus this month, actually, which I think are going to be helping you see things from your subconscious, or see things that you weren't necessarily aware of before, because we have the Sun, we have Venus, and we have Mercury all forming aspects with your planet this month. And we actually do have a cazimi between the Sun and Venus showing up in Capricorn on the 8th. That is a very close conjunction, and that's really affecting your subconscious. You're seeing things that you haven't seen before, especially in regards to relationships. There might be some patterns. You might be learning about attachment styles this month. There might just be things that you are seeing now very, very clearly. And I think that is kind of this Ace of Swords energy, to be honest with you. It is also followed by the Sun. So again, a lot of clarity, and it is actually being clarified with the Lovers as well as the Ace of Pentacles. So there actually could be a new relationship that is going to be happening for some of you towards the end of this month and into February. That's actually quite possible. That would make sense for me with the full moon in Leo, which is going to be in February. I want to say that's around like February 8th. I could be wrong. I haven't actually looked that far ahead. Whenever that Leo full moon is, there could be a change or a new chapter in relationships for you. And interestingly, the sun actually does represent Leo energy. So that's kind of a confirmation for me. This Leo full moon could really be bringing changes to your relationships. And I actually do see that taking the form of long-term commitments with the Ace of Pentacles. However, if this isn't talking about a relationship, this could be talking about something you've really put a lot of time and energy and love into. There is this reward that is coming back for you, or you're seeing the fruits of your labor, and that's going to be really, really significant for you towards the end of this month and into February. And there is a lot here with Uranus in Taurus that's kind of challenging the ways you have approached things in the past. Because Taurus is very stubborn, it's kind of traditional when we're talking about archetypal energy. And it's like your ruling planet is really shaking up our sense of stability as a collective. And for you, that's really showing up in a way that's like, uh, really kind of changing your sense of where you've come from. There could be moves that you are making. You might be moving homes or dealing with a lot of stuff from your early childhood. And I think that is sort of the subconscious thing, again, that's coming up. You're identifying patterns and beliefs that come from childhood in specific this month and that might be interfering with your relationships. But honestly, I think it's more than that. I think there's something really grand that is happening for you with this judgment card that I kind of pulled, just clarifying all of these energies. There could be healing things from the past. And I know that with these retrograde planets, with Venus and Mercury in particular, there is often this story of exes coming back from the past, people coming back from the past. It's not usually the people you expect, I will say that. And it's not necessarily about reconciling those relationships either. I kind of find it a little predatory when I see all of these tarot readers talking about, like, oh, this ex is coming back, the person you've been waiting for is coming back. That might not actually be what healing looks like for you. So just be really open and allow healing to come in the form that feels the most correct for you. But there is this thing with healing things from the past. And that's going to look differently for all of you. And with the Lamb card here, there is almost this sense of you knowing things before they come. And that makes a lot of sense with all of this activation in Capricorn and even in Pisces to some extent. You are very, very intuitive this month, and it is kind of important for you to really connect to yourself, connect to your spirit, connect to your intuition. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that are coming through with the Eight of Wands. And it feels like things could be happening really quickly, and then there's delays. I feel like whatever closes out for you this month, I don't feel like it's closing out permanently. I will say that if there are endings or canceled plans, especially like travel plans or something like that, I feel like they're still going to happen. It's just happening in a different time. I do feel like there is this need to commit to something that you love by the end of the month as well, and maybe that is committing to a spiritual calling. And you could potentially be making some money from doing something that you really care about or finding new prosperity there. And I am seeing at the bottom of the animal deck the crocodile card. And this really is like pausing and waiting. Crocodiles can actually go months without eating. And they'll just kind of sit there waiting for something to come to it. And that almost feels like what you're doing. You know something is coming, you know something is changing, but I don't think you actually realize just how big it is yet. If your intuition is telling you that something big is coming, it is. And you might even start to doubt that at certain points throughout this month. But it feels like there's a big shift. It feels like this beautiful new commitment. And that could be in a relationship that actually feels like it's also about your purpose as well. And really answering this calling That feels really significant to me too. And with Lamb, it's almost like finding peace, really listening to the world around you. I know that's important with this card. And whatever it is that you sense coming in January, it feels like there's a lot of confirmation here. Whatever your intuition is telling you, I think it will come true. It might just take more time than you realize. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Aquarius. I do hope that this was helpful. If this doesn't resonate or you want more clarity, you're welcome to check out some of the other readings for your moon, rising, or Venus sign, or whatever video calls to you. I do have all of my links in the description box down below. And for those of you who feel called to make a donation, I actually want to redirect you to a friend who is working on an oracle deck. She has a crowdfunding page right now. You can support her Enneagram oracle deck. For those of you who aren't familiar, the Enneagram is a really great tool for self-growth and self-development. And it's actually something I used to really be into myself, so it's super exciting to see her working on this. She has studied with lots of people who are very knowledgeable about the Enneagram, and she's actually updated a lot of the kind of the older or outdated concepts. So if you want to learn more about the Enneagram, sometimes oracle decks are a great way to learn about certain subjects. I have one on plants that I've been learning all about different plants. That's just kind of a learning style, I guess. Oracle deck learning style. And I believe she calls it a wisdom deck. It's really a lot about reflection. And I really am excited to see this. So feel free to donate to that instead of donating to me. I would appreciate that. I think it would be a great gift. She'd really, really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.